A famous photograph of Winston Churchill snapped in 1941 has gone missing from an Ottawa hotel and replaced with a fake. The photo, known as the Roaring Lion, was taken by Yusuf Karsh shortly after Churchill gave a wartime speech to Canada's Parliament. This is in the midst of World War II. Churchill goes to Canada, speaks to Parliament. Karsh, the most iconic, famous photographer of his time, takes a picture of Churchill with a scowl on his face. The story is that he plucked a cigar from Churchill's mouth. Very famous photograph. A staff member at the Chateau Laurier first noticed the photograph had been replaced on the 19th of August. Police are investigating the incident. The photograph is one of the most iconic ever taken of Churchill and shows the leader on Parliament Hill moments after Karsh famously took a cigar, I told you, out of Churchill's mouth. Quote, I held out an ashtray, but he would not dispose of it. I waited. He continued to chomp vigorously at his cigar. I waited. Then I stepped toward him, and without premeditation, but ever respectfully, I said, forgive me, sir. And I plucked the cigar from his mouth. By the time Karsh returned to the camera, he wrote, Churchill looked so belligerent, he could have devoured me. And it was in that instant that I took the photograph. The Chateau Laurier first realized something was amiss on Friday when staff members noticed that the photograph's frame didn't match that of other images by Karsh in the same room. They conferred with Karsh's estate, and the hotel determined that the photograph had been replaced with a copy of the original. Okay, why am I so into this? A, because I love Churchill. B, because we love the Canadians. They're the best neighbors anyone could ever ask for. But C, and those of you long-term listeners may remember this, I owned one of these photographs, this exact photograph. Many years ago, I purchased what was represented to me to be a Karsh original, meaning a photograph made from Karsh's negative.
I just got a recollection of what you're about to tell
and
us.
Signed by Winston Churchill in World War II. And I purchased this as a young lawyer many, many years ago. Years later, the signature, the autograph was beginning to fade. A friend recommended that I go to a particular place that did preservation work. I just wanted to stop the fade.
Aging, right,
okay?
Sure.
The woman who analyzed what I was looking at was very knowledgeable in these respects and essentially told me that what I thought I had purchased, I had not purchased.
It was a fake.
It was a fake. And so I attempted to go back to the vendor and have him or her, not looking to litigate this again, make good on it. And instead they rebuffed me and claimed that I was mistaken. So now I had to get experts involved and document that no, indeed, it was not what it was represented to be.
The signature was not legitimate, or the picture itself was not from the negatives, or what was the...
Well,
the whole provenance was wrong.
Yes. Let's leave it at that.
Okay.
Let's leave it at that.
Basically, they sold you a poster.
So I needed to, that's you saying it. So I needed to then file a lawsuit, which I did.
Yikes.
So if you're interested, you could Google this. And guess whose attention this captured, among others? Yusuf Karsh's widow. And where does she live? Canada, because he was Canadian.
That's why that picture's
She took
there.
an interest. I think she took umbrage at the fact that someone was misrepresenting her husband's work.